Greetings. I'm Elder Blacklight, and we're still on the subject of things that teachers, preachers, politicians, that's in the Bible, that these people don't often talk about. Most of them don't talk about it at all. Some of them talk about it on occasions. But this episode or chapter is going to be to square up the other videos. We're going to summarize the reason why that this Good Friday and Easter is important to your psyche, to your mental health. In other words, you're living in an artificial world with artificial teachings, which are lies, corrupt teachings. Now, if you've been watching other videos, you know that this United States of America, in God we trust, what God are they talking about? They're talking about Satan, the beast, the devil. These symbols have been stolen from ancient Egypt, but they represent the mentality of the Caucasoid, of the Caucasian European. This is their power. The United States, the military might. You see these are arrows, but they look like missiles. You know, they're going to force you into peace. In other words, they're going to force you into a one world order. And this pyramid represents the bottom, you know, serves the top. And that all-seeing eye, you know, they could look you could look in the sky, and they could look into your living rooms through satellite and through the internet, fiber optics. And this Bible, they tried to alter it to make themselves look good, Satan look good. At the same time, he can't do it because it makes him look like a good guy, but it don't make no sense when you read it. So he takes men that want to go into ministry and schools them in his school of theology. And you get a certificate to preach what he wants you to preach. And the flock, the people, they don't ever take time to look into it because they can't understand and read Old English, especially if it's not their natural tongue. If you're from the continent of Africa and you can't read the Bible in Old English, you could barely understand this New English. And so we was talking about Leviticus, you know, that law right there, that chapter is about law. And it's telling you how to eat to live. Telling you what foods to eat, what foods not to eat. Now, Moses was in the era of BC, before Christ. And they had a different calendar. Now you had the Grecian calendar, and you had the Romans. Now most people think that the Greeks are the founder of knowledge, science and all like that, philosophy. That's wrong. See, the Greeks were those that came out the caves and were studying up under the Egyptians or the Kemites. Then the Romans came, and they are some of the last to come out of the caves. They were more ferocious in their war tactics. And then they didn't want to accept that the Kemites were the gods. But Moses, before the Romans came, was schooling the Greeks into the knowledge of God. They later called themselves Jews, Hebrews, and Israelites. But Moses had a hard time. Then came, did I say they was before Christ? Yeah, then came AD. That's the calendar after the death of Christ. They say Christ was the God. That's when they tried to get slick. Alternated the teachings in the Bible. And that's the reason for the crucifixion. Because the true understanding of Jesus was he was continuing on the teachings of Moses to the caveman or to the Romans. And the Romans, they kind of mixed up with the black man too, because they had conquered Egypt for a minute. But that caveman mentality is still in them today. And they conquered some of Africa. And the Greeks were the first to, Alexander the Great, he conquered some of Africa, Egypt, and then the Romans came and took it over. And then they were completely against the teachings of Moses, completely against the teachings of Christ. So they said, well, we're going to take God's people, the original man's teachings and science, and reverse it on them. Because we are a reverse people. We are a artificial people. And they won't understand this kind of psychology. I'm Black Light. Stay tuned.